Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about conjugate and from a general standpoint, its importance in your programming. But right now I'm warming up, I'm just bouncing around. It's really cold. It's like -5 in the garage. Just hitting some overhead press and some pull-ups. Speed triple on the overhead press as per usual. Doing a 10x5 with 25 pounds extra weight on the pull-ups. But I'm not using weight in this video because I'm literally warming up and I'm so cold. But one of the main things that's amazing about conjugate is, and when I say conjugate, I don't mean like a west side necessarily. I mean, conjugate is really just like changing things and focusing on multiple qualities at once. But one of the main things is injury prevention. If you're always taxing and working in the same movement pattern, you're always doing like a wide grip bench with the same arch, always using the same form, that's the only thing you work, then you really, not that you don't get stronger in other positions, but you mainly get stronger in those positions. Strength does carry over, but you're just focused on that one kind of like movement pattern. So getting outside of that and, maybe changing up the grip, the width, changing up the arch, whether it's like going from like Larson press to a hook line, just gets you stronger in different ranges of motion. But one thing it also allows you to do is train harder. If you're going to be training, near failure or at failure, and you're more advanced, you need to change something up, or you're realistically just going to get injured. But I got some 165 right here for my heavy triple. It's supposed to be a speed triple. That was pretty fast. Here's some 225 bench. And the reason I wanted to make this video was because of the crazy bench workout I had today. I hit 315 for 5 singles, and they're all pretty fast. And it kind of brings me on to my next topic, which is it works well at getting you strong. So I haven't done bench with this grip in a while, and it's because I had a little injury going on. Not like an actual injury, but my shoulder was just feeling kind of funky, and I noticed that using a way closer grip made it feel better. So I just worked that for like 4 to 6 weeks, and my shoulder started feeling better. And then today, I messed around with this little bit of a wider grip, my normal bench grip, and I'm way stronger, and I'm, blowing up 315. Probably could have hit it for like 3 reps, which is the most I've ever hit 315 for, which is nice, deep into the cut. I'm not really cutting right now, but I haven't gained any weight, so lost 40 pounds, and my bench hasn't dropped. It's nice. If anything, it's stronger. Hitting some incline bench here, just hitting a lot of lower volume, just kind of focusing on getting good speed on the bar. One thing that changing your exercises around also does is, since you're allowed to push them closer to failure more often, you get more jacked, you get bigger, and you can work muscles that you don't always work. Whether it's like you're hitting incline bench for 4 weeks, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to keep a little incline benching, but I'm going to focus on a wide grip, and then I'm going to do that for 6 weeks, and then, you know what I mean? So you can build it up to really be like linear periodization or block periodization, if you're smart about it. And it's kind of one of those things where you do high bar for like 6 weeks. You're building volume, you're accumulating fatigue, and then you go to your competition low bar for, if you've added like 20 pounds to your high bar over that 6 weeks, and you're kind of working the movement that you haven't been working for a while. You're, taxing the knees and back differently. Maybe you've been hitting some stiff leg deads with that too, so your back's getting stronger. You've been away from the low bar. You come back to it, and boom, in a couple weeks, you're hitting old numbers, probably PRing. But you don't need to be like full west side with it, where you're doing no range of motion, block bench. This is the chest expander, really enjoying that. But you don't need to go like full, like not using any range of motion, box squat kind of thing. You don't need to do that. And you don't need to practice it exactly how they do it. You don't have to go exactly from like the West Side Barbell Book of Methods, which is probably the best conjugate resource out there. You can do it from a different standpoint, like I'm saying, where you can conjugate the lifts instead of just hitting singles all the time. If you've been doing your competition bench for like a year straight, and you're like, damn dude, like it's not really moving, hit some wide grip bench for 6 weeks. Do the Bill Sino thing, the 6x10, 6x8, 6x6 with a super wide grip bench. Hit some of your normal bench here and there, but nothing not going crazy on it, just keeping it coasting. You know, your wide grip bench goes up, your overhead press goes up, your accessories go up, you know, biceps are getting bigger. And then before you know it, you're hitting bench PRs, especially if you're eating. So it's just something to think about, is that sometimes getting away from the lift that you're trying so hard to bring up. Because for a while for me, I was like, I just want to get my bench strong. I want to bench 405. And it's not that I don't want to bench 405 right now, but I kind of am not that worried about it. I'd rather strict press 225. But it's when you move away from like you're just hammering this one lift, that's sometimes when you make the most gains, which is, I mean, that's kind of how life is in a way. You know, when you stop like looking for certain things, they start to show up. Not to get too philosophical or whatever, but like it's just something interesting in training is, you know, when you stop trying to push your bench so hard, sometimes you just hit big PRs. But this is the chest expander tricep movement or whatever you want to call it. Just trying to get some good angles, you know, show the back off. But it's feeling good. These are nice for the rear delts. I feel like I'm oddly strong at this movement, which is a little disappointing just because I thought it was going to super humble me. But it's okay because I can just load more springs on. And if any of you guys have used this, I'd appreciate some form critiques. I try not to bend my elbows too much just because it definitely makes it easier, but a little bit of bend is definitely comfortable. But it's nice because you can hit so much volume with it.